apartment's not a lot bigger than mine, and you have
Testing,
two people.
1, 2,
that's a
testing,
challenge.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Kelly, go.
And she cosplayed, so there's like a bunch of costumes and stuff that are just shoved into a drawer somewhere.
Mike, go.
What's your storage unit situation like?
Dave, go.
Non-existent?
I have like 6 closets, and they're still all filled. Like, I just fucking
Women, am I right?
Women.
I won't even go so far as to blame her. Some of it's me. But
Yeah.
Some of it's me.
honestly, I purge paperback books at this point when I move. I keep all my hardcovers, and I purge all the paperback, give them to people, take them.
Do what Indigo
for
does.
credit,
You just rip the covers off and you throw them in the recycle, so no one will ever read those books again.
No, I don't do that. You can take them to a used bookstore and you get store credit for it. So
We used to have like our apartment library in the laundry room. There was like a big shelving unit set up that you could put different books on, and like people would take them, read them, and bring them back, and it was like really adorable and community driven. They got rid of that real quick. Now
All
it's
it takes is one person to fuck it up for everybody, though.
Yeah, I feel like there was something like that at Gage in UBC for a little while until I'm pretty sure someone just like took all the books and wrote like "fuck you" in block letters in it instead.
yeah, that seems awesome. Why would they get rid of that?
Nah, I don't know. It was a worthy effort. Did you spill already, David?
Dave arrived drunk.
I did not.
It's a work day, you know. I'll have you know. He'll have you know.
How do you get pleasure in your week if you don't self-medicate?
Self.
Like I know, you mean that, like, I know you mean that as a joke, but like I have no answer to that. That isn't kind of fucking stark.
Yeah.
I just play games for the internet and hope that people are watching eventually.
I don't even play games. I don't even have time to play games
If you
anymore.
play them, they will watch.
Mm.
That's what the movie said to me
That's
once.
actually the.
It's a common misconception.
Yeah, he made the baseball field. No one showed up. He told all the players they were doing it for exposure. Never paid them, and then eventually went out of business.
We'll get those double digits, those long sought after double digit follower counts at some point in our career. I will strongly bet you guys that.
I've never seen Angels in the Outfield.
First of all, that is not the movie from that quote, and I really hope that you didn't think that it actually is.
Field of Dreams. I've never seen Field of Dreams.
It's a different movie involving the afterlife and baseball.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was the audience also ghosts in Field of Dreams?
Let's go back to talking Angels in the Outfield. I think Christopher Lloyd's like best film. All right, little.
One of Joseph Gordon-Levitt's top 5 for sure.
You know, neither of those statements are wrong.
Also, the all-time deadbeat dad thing to say to a kid, which is that I'll come home and be dad when the fucking baseball team wins the fucking series or whatever.
Like, how old was JGL at that time? Too? He was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Like, he should have known better. His dad was just being just like, no, I'm not coming home.
Man, I should watch that movie. That sounds way too close to home.
No.
So, Field of Dreams was the crowd just
That's
ghosts?
a good dad. Good dad in that movie.
What was Field of Dreams about?
Everybody was. Field of Dreams was about Kevin Costner. I'm pretty sure it's Kevin Costner.
It is.
He had to he bought up a large plot of land or returned to his family's plot of land, like in a state of like, what am I doing with my life? And he got astral visions by like ghosts of dead baseball players to build a baseball diamond.
And there's like a whispering kind of like ghostly thing that's like, if you build it, they will come. Which is like, you're supposed to build a baseball field to attract the ghost baseball players.
Is that where that trope comes from? I swear to God, I've seen
it is.
a half dozen cartoons that do the exact same thing.
Yeah, because cartoons aren't original.
Thanks.
So Mufasa comes out of the clouds, tells his son Simba to make a baseball field.
See, it's a pop culture reference, which means that it's referencing something else, some other form of media.
A TV trope,
Yes.
if you will.
Yes.
Okay. I am on board now.
One might say that's how we stay afloat here on this podcast.
Constantly referencing things that you might see with your eyeballs.
Yeah, exactly.
Poorly referencing things
Yes.
from other
Thank you.
tropes.
That's a great
Let's call a spade a spade.
I did say ghosts in the outfield or angels in the outfield when I referenced that quote.
What?
Ghosts of baseball. That's
It
what
was a
it is.
baseball pass.
Apparently, this is the baseball episode.
13 baseball ghosts.
Do you remember that movie from like the early 90s where it was a kid who suffered an arm injury, but because of it, he could throw a ball super fast?
Rookie of the Year.
That was impressively fast there, Mike.
Charlie Sheen shit? Is that what that is?
No, that was I don't understand, but that is both Major League 1 and 2.
Okay.
I don't understand, like I'm just far like I don't even like baseball as a sport, but I think I've seen every single like base. I haven't seen Moneyball, which apparently is like the only good one.
Moneyball's actually really good.
Is legitimately good.
Yeah.
But I've seen like every kind of like 90s and earlier baseball dramedy
I liked League of Their Own
That's a good one.
because the whole conceit of that movie is that women can't play baseball, and then they can.
And
It feels like such a 90s thing to do.
Oh yeah.
and then they made a Futurama episode that was kind of like the opposite of that,
Where women...
where Leela tried like so hard to prove that women could play Blurnsball, which is like there.
and she was bad at it.
She goes down to history as the worst Blurnsball player of all time.
Okay, here's the ultimate question: was there ever an Air Bud baseball?
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't know, but there definitely was.
There was a monkey one. It wasn't MVP because most valuable primate was the
was
hockey franchise.
Yeah, come on, I know everyone knows that.
I mean, Air Bud, I think, was put into every sport. I would not even doubt if there was a lacrosse Air Bud.
Once you get into the room of direct to DVD though, like it doesn't count because there's a direct to DVD of everything.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Air Bud, 7-inning fetch.
Oh baby.
How direct to video can you get at a certain
Well,
point
I think
in time?
that like Air Bud is like direct to Hallmark Channel now because I remember like walking past like a film set in Victoria and somebody was like, "Yeah, it's like Happy Pooches 2 or something," and I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
There are
Showtime original dog movie.
There are more than 6 Air Bud movies.
Are Netflix originals like the modern day equivalent of made for TV movies? Although Netflix originals
get
are sometimes good. Like there's definitely better.
Air Bud Golden Receiver.
That's a football one, right? American football.
Yeah, you did it, Dave. You did
Got it.
All right, this is Super Hopped Out Fair podcast about sports about animals as sportsmen, sports sleets, as sports athletes. I am your host, Chris Norris-Jones, the quarterback of this dog team. Sitting on the couch is one Mr. David Beebe.
I'm a linebacker.
One Mr. Kelly Wright.
I'm a striker.
And one Mr. Michael Parker.
You know what, guys? I think we have our next 2 Real 1 fake. Like this could go 2 ways. It could either be Air Bud movies or sports terms with Dave and Kelly.
I would actually love it if it was you and Norris versus me and Kelly if it was sports shit. I mean, that would be kind of funny.
See, but I tested FIFA, so I should at least be able to get all the football things.
Oh, you won't. Like,
Oh yeah, striker is a real position in football.
Yeah.
Or soccer. Okay.
I only know that because of Super Mario Strikers.
Oh. I had a teacher who worked on a game that was like Super Mario Strikers and then got bought out by Nintendo. Or they made Strikers and told them to stop making their game.
I think, yeah, Strikers was made in Vancouver. That was Next Level Games, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
All
That
right.
sounds about right.
What was the best Mario sports title? Was it
Tennis.
Mario
probably
Tennis.
Beyond a doubt, that's the
Mario
best one.
Golf for the 64 kind of fucking ruled.
People like that game, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
I learned the rules of tennis from Mario Tennis, and like it's not a straightforward scoring system whatsoever.
Why is it 15 each time, each love or whatever?
My favorite Seinfeld bit is that they used to have to wear wool clothes, and it got so hot out there that they're just like, you know what, fuck it, you got 15, you got 15,
okay.
All right, another one, 30. Let's get it going.
That's a very Seinfeld joke, but without the setup, that makes it Seinfeld, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So originally tennis, you're saying, was some sort of marathon sport, and then they just got hot and tired and decided against it. Anyone ever actually played tennis?
I did tennis.
And I will include like going in the backyard with your paw or maw and just like hitting the ball back and forth.
I've done
on
that. It's a
occasion.
lot harder than Mario Tennis makes it out to be.
It is, and especially when the person playing with you is not taking it easy on you, and then it's hard to even see the ball sometimes.
Like, it's actually not super hard to get like racket on ball contact. It is extremely hard to get the ball within that, like what appears on the TV to be a very large target, like the court. Just getting the ball in that is like an extreme amount of challenge.
Yeah.
To me, I don't like the running part where the guy makes you run to the other side of the court to get the ball.
I think I mentioned this before. I love playing baseball, but I don't like running, catching, or really anything else other than hitting the ball.
Or like that's why I always hated basketball in gym class because I got to play offense and defense. This fucking sucks.
I played defender when I played soccer in like middle school. I played defender because it was the best. I could just hide out back and kick the ball when it came near me.
That and I never could do a layup in my life.
Because you're so
fucking
white.
room full of athletes here. And
Yeah, exactly.
What you played football? Shut up.
You're right. Yeah, I like it was an excuse to kind of get slightly fat. I think.
I thought you were a full blown jock until I saw you reading like a graphic novel like first year.
Was he also like doing curls or whatever.
For the girls, yeah. Certainly.
I was doing tricep dips with one hand, reading Watchmen in the other, and because it was the early aughts and things were just a little bit more rad, I had a headband on and was smoking at the same time.
Nice.
You can do that.
So wait, you're the brother from
Indoors.
Stranger Things too.
Had a kicking White Snake soundtrack playing in the background.
Norris has never smoked a cigarette in his life, and he's always given me shit when he's seen me smoke. So.
I've smoked at least 4 or 5 cigarettes in my life.
Yeah, but you've been like at least 6 drinks deep every time.
Oh yeah, sober, I've probably never smoked a cigarette in my life. I will cop to that.
Okay, is that a thing? Because I
What?
sometimes will get super drunk and want a cigarette, even though I've literally never had a cigarette before.
I went through a phase, and it's pretty much just like I the rationale for it I think is just like, hey, why not? Like you're already drunk, like you might as well.
I'm dumb, and when I'm drunk, I'm dumber, and when I'm dumb,
love that
I'm
movie.
highly suggestible.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason why.
I used to smoke, and then I now can't even bring myself to finish like half of one. I just feel sick even going down that far. So
You were the one trying to get me into weird tobacco products for a while in university.
oh yeah, like snus and shit.
yeah. I remember like you coming up to me and you're just like, yeah, no, I think you put it in your nose. I don't know. It seems neat. We should try it.
I mean, you were a metal guy, so you ever smoke some cloves?
Yeah, I smoked some black cigarettes, some black and milds, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Menthols.
menthols. Actually, those are pretty tasty. Yeah. Don't smoke kids though.
Speaking of vices,
I don't want to tell you what to do, kids. Do what the fuck you want.
Kids, you can vape. That's fine. You can do your tricks.
No,
Just
you know
don't-
what? You know what? Fucking maybe unpopular opinion. I'd rather kids smoke than vape. Fuck that. All right. Vaping has a negative cultural attenuation to it.
Culture,
Don't appreciate it.
Like
I'd rather they did heroin.
I don't know if I'm ready to make that point as of yet.
Smoking cigarettes is cooler than vaping, but it's more dangerous.
Kids, don't be not cool. We don't have much. Like honestly, we've got maybe like 7 years left. Anyways, the world will probably end before cancer gets you. Smoke away.
whatever you do, just don't make it your thing. Like don't like whatever. Like if you enjoy partaking in any sort of like inhaling a thing and then breathing, just don't make that any part of your identity whatsoever, and nobody will have any problem with what you do.
Yeah, so hand out your mixtape and then do some vape tricks.
In that order.
Or if you can hold the disc and then do a vape trick through the hole in the disc.
And then it makes a little like smaller. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Exactly.
What are we drinking, guys?
My roommate and I had a birthday party on the weekend, and when we woke up on Saturday morning, actually I woke up Saturday late afternoon. There's just a bunch of beer in the fridge, and
Was this
I thought I drank it all.
Was this what Jack brought at the beginning of the party?
yeah, this was so technically
Unless somebody else went for a Coors. Sorry,
No,
I don't want to spoil.
So technically the bringer of the beer this week was one Jack Shirai, a friend of the podcast, in that he brought just a bunch of Coors Banquet on the party and was just like, go ahead and for the
what?
family.
It's like every time I have Coors Banquet, I'm expecting it's going to be garbage, but it's like somewhere between garbage and like all right beer.
Yeah, it's moderate to good, I'd say.
Yeah, it's not.
This is my new PBR in that it's
Yeah, I think
cheap
so, too.
and eminently potable.
It's okay. This is gonna sound dumb and like I'm an advertising person, considering it's called like, or it's from Golden. This tastes golden. This tastes like the. I don't know what golden tastes like, but it tastes that. You know,
It's so much fancier than a Coors Light. Like it's a million degrees better than a Coors Light.
I thought like, okay, they just repackaged Coors Light, and this is going to be some kind of gimmick to get you to drink their like absolutely atrocious beer. But this is
It's
like you said,
5%.
this is the equivalent of the. Yeah, it's like it feels like years ago. It actually was years ago. It feels like decades ago when we did our blind beer.
Yeah, we should do
Taste.
that again some point in time.
And we determined that that PBR was the best of the worst, but I think this is better than
Empirical
PBR.
double blind test.
Yeah, and I think this is better than PBR, but around the same price.
This is the kind of beer you can serve at a wedding, I've always said.
in like a pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you start at the
super
top.
classy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You joke, but when my mom got married, she literally just had like shit tons of Coors.
Yeah, you need a lot
That'd
of
be
beers
rad.
for a lot of thirsty people.
And a lot of them you don't like enough to pony up for good beer.
I mean, she's a tour director, so like every time she crossed the border, she would get another like 24 pack just to stock up for her wedding. It was
That's actually just thinking ahead.
It was a love story made in a brewery.
Made it Labatt. Who does Coors? I have no idea.
I don't know, but this is like, it's
I think Coors is their own thing.
That's their own thing, isn't it? I don't know.
Like there's like
Yeah, Coors Brewing Company.
We've been drinking a beer a week since 2012. We're still not very good at this whole beer game, hey guys?
Oh God, that's depressing. Now that you've put that into perspective.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Kelly, you've only been doing it since like 2015, I think.
Yeah, but one every week. That's what have I been doing?
Well, okay, I think most of us have had more
Like,
than
I
one
drink-
beer every week.
I can tell you, like, it has probably been since 2008 that I've had at least a drink a week.
I drink
So-
I drink a couple between podcasts.
This is the episode where we have like an existential crisis that like maybe we shouldn't be drinking every week.
No, man, living it. I embrace this.
Like you know, most people don't, right?
I've smoked weed every day since August.
No, fuck.
Whatever, it's basically legal now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I bought it with 2 pieces of ID yesterday.
No, man. That's good. No, I like that.
Do you still have
yeah.
to have your green card, or were you
No,
just...
I have never had membership in any of these things really, except for now, I guess, because I signed up.
Are
for
you
this
still
place.
buying from a dispensary? Like,
Yeah.
are you expected to have the green card in case the PO comes in and it
No,
starts
like,
hassling the locals?
All I know is that it's cash only, but it's like honestly, it was like a little boutique, almost like any of the other boutiques on Main Street. And then it was 2 like Australian girls with like one with blue hair, one with pink hair, and they just
As you
asked me
would
what
expect.
God.
this is what you would expect, pretty much.
That, do you mind if I go on a little bit of a segue because of what you said?
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think we
I
can fit a segue in here. It's kind of a small apartment.
I went. Oh, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Do you mind if I go on a seg?
He got us, guys. He got us.
Yo,
Zing.
Seg on, man.
That's a classic Norris zinger. I went to a Twitch meetup last weekend,
Okay.
and I generally when I walk around on a daily basis, I'm like, yeah, I have green hair, and no one else does. Sitting in that room of like Twitch people, I was like, there is every spectrum of color in this room right
Could have
now.
stopped at Spectrum. Yeah.
Wait.
Oh,
That's really mean.
Yeah, you know what? I'm probably gonna cut that one. Actually,
Actually, no. I think you should keep it in and think about what
Yeah,
you
you
said.
don't give us the same courtesy.
no, he does. I listened once when I thought I said something terrible.
So you walked into a meetup of several Twitch streamers and realized that a lot of them have kind of a Jacksepticeye vibe. Is that what you found?
There were no other greens. I can say
okay.
that for sure.
but different colors, different colored hair.
There
on-
was
Were you sitting between the yellow and the purple? Or
no, we did not make
did
the
you
yellow
get
and the blue?
coordinated based
Yeah.
upon your hair look?
Yellow
Damn
and
it.
hair
blue.
coloration.
I spent the entire night not talking to anyone because I'm super fucking awkward. I should have spent the night trying to find everyone of the color of the rainbow and just made that the thing that I did
Just
that
made a
night.
like bring a bingo card next time.
And hold it up to people?
I guess that's what you. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you should just walked up to somebody and just like announce their hair color, like red, tight, and then just point at yours and go green.
I mean, you joke, but $5 says you would make a friend for life doing that.
Oh, blue. Cool.
Yeah.
No, but have one color you just fucking despise.
Yeah.
Orange. Fuck no. Get out of here.
Yeah.
What
Get
year?
out of- go.
Wait, what year do you think
Leave.
this is?
Then I find the one person that's like blonde but standing next to a light, and I'm like, oh, blue. Nice.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Blue. What are you talking about? It.
Yeah, your hair.
Yeah.
The dress was blue. Fuck it. Should we just open this up like I opened up this beer can here, the second beer, 8 minutes in, and start discussing the big important thing that we all did earlier
Oh
this
shit!
week?
Yeah.
I thought the only reason we were letting it go this long is because we have nothing to talk about.
Did
this
you
week.
on that today too?
Is that what we want to talk about?
What are you talking about then? I thought that's what you meant.
So the 4 of us saw Justice League on
Oh,
the weekend.
fuck. Yeah. Okay, we did.
Yeah.
All the-
Superheroes.
yeah.
Man of Bats.
I guess as the person who's forced you guys to think about DC things for the last couple of years, I should probably start somewhere.
Can we just start asking questions and hope that you answer them?
Okay, sure.
Um,
Let's do that.
Did they make
Who the fuck is Steppenwolf?
Did they make him up? Like Steppenwolf is a band from the 70s. They do a great song.
Wasn't the last Steppenwolf played by Vin Diesel?
I love Mike in particular because you are always so incredulous that every character that's ever introduced in these video games and movies, they are all from the comics. So Steppenwolf is one of Darkseid's lieutenants. I don't think he was even in any of the animated ones. or
Can
if he
you
was, it was
tell me
brief.
when he was invented? Like,
The 70s?
was the band named after him, or was he named after the band?
Wait,
I'm pretty sure the term Steppenwolf comes out of some sort of Norse mythology
I think
or something.
there was a Stephen King book.
Should we do
called Steppenwolf?
Should we do spoiler tag though, real quick?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this whole movie, so get on it. Unless you want to.
Maybe like I will put in the show notes a certain thing. I think we should keep it somewhat candid for like 10-15, and then we'll get into the spoiler stuff, and then I'll put up the tags for it. How about that?
Yeah, okay. But I feel like we're all here. Let's just like run down this entire movie start to finish, like hold nothing back. I don't want to hold back.
Steppenwolf's a novel, actually.
It's a Stephen King, wasn't it?
No, it's fucking.
I swear to God, the name Steppenwolf comes from some form of mythology.
Regardless, he looked like a late game Diablo character.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Sorry, late game Skyrim character. His armor looked like it was made by
very
Daedra.
Nordic. Yeah, he did look Nordic. He had like the horned helmet.
Herman Hesse, of course.
Okay.
The book.
But so here's the thing: in BVS, didn't we already have like a lieutenant or somebody tell Lex that Darkseid is coming? Why did we need another one?
No, okay. So there wasn't really any extraterrestrials in Batman versus Superman,
other than that ship.
All you had really at the end was Luthor just kind of saying like the bell cannot be unrung or whatever, and like pointing to the stars and saying that like the devil's coming. It's like a weird thing where he's like flipped that painting in his room, but no, like you didn't really see or hear anything. I mean, unlike the Marvel stuff with Thanos, we still haven't seen Darkseid on screen at all. It's just that they're hinting at him largely.
Yeah, I mean, they've been edging Thanos for like 8 movies now.
He's gonna be so disappointing when he finally comes out. Like
just like edging.
Just like edging.
All pomp, no circumstance.
It's like, I mean, you got to remember too that how many movies into this are we? We've got Man of Steel. We got Batman, Superman. Like,
technically,
do we count Suicide Squad?
It did have Batman.
I don't think Warner's going to be counting Suicide Squad.
It had a shot of like the Batman and like a 3-second like a frame of the Flash.
Also, we left the theater too soon because apparently the post-credit scene had Deathstroke in it. So fuck all of us.
Oh, there's 2 post-credit scenes.
There was 2 post-credit scenes, and it was.
No! Now I have to look it up on YouTube.
No, it's Lex and Deathstroke coming together. Apparently.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because
Joe Manganiello plays Deathstroke. I know that.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Wait, I thought didn't Will Smith play Deathstroke?
No, that's Deadshot.
Deadshot. Fuck me.
Wait, so was it Will Smith or?
No, I don't know who anything. Apparently,
I'm pretty sure they're introducing Deathstroke because Deathstroke is supposed to be the bad guy in the standalone Batman movie, which originally was supposed to be like directed and written by Ben Affleck.
Yeah, it doesn't
except Benny Aff is trying to fucking pull the shoot on all of this, isn't he?
I think he is like not interested in doing this anymore.
No, he. It seems like he was out the moment he started, and he's looking for like He specifically said, "I want to leave in a badass way."
Because the reviews were really like woof for Batman versus Superman, which I'm going to say right now, guys, that's a more entertaining movie than Justice League.
Yeah, because it was more bad.
Well, like we talked about it, and I think we brought it up. And I remember, Kelly, you specifically something you said after watching Suicide Squad, where like, so Suicide Squad was the movie that they kind of were like, oh shit, guys, this is like way too serious and is making a lot of people uncomfortable, and they invoked a lot of reshots, and then you have that weird like polar like the bipolar nature of Suicide Squad, which is like very, very like serious, but also like super jokey and like uncomfortably so.
Suicide Squad might be the definition of turning too hard into the skid.
Yeah, but it wasn't an entertaining movie to be like super drunk
but you think
with
about,
friends to watch.
Yeah, but you think about Batman versus Superman, like it was super serious, but it never shifted tone. It was just like it fully committed to being that, which like
say what you will about Zack Snyder, at least I'm not gonna say he does grimdark well, but he does it overwhelmingly.
Yeah,
like at least I think I think I agree with Mike that there's kind of some value in at least keeping an even tone across it, because like Justice League was all over the place. Like
Justice League almost felt as if there were 2 directors directing different portions of it.
Almost a little bit, yeah,
almost
right.
a little bit, yeah, because you had basically like very twee Joss Whedon dialogue coming out of the Flash's mouth pretty much every scene that he was in, and then everything else being kind of grim dark. They totally retrofitted Superman to like he was always a nice good guy.
Yeah,
like he was really just kind of a jerk off. He was like Batman in BVS.
He was more charismatic, which was very off-putting.
Well, they brought him back to like 50 Superman, which is like,
Okay,
I believe
all
in
right.
justice.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to retroactively start putting in the spoiler stuff from here. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah. So
Hey guys,
I do agree that like
if you give a quarter of a shit about Justice League, you knew they were gonna bring Superman.
I actually
back
wasn't
to-
sure. Like I didn't know if it was gonna be like the very end of this film or they were gonna build it up for the next film. I wasn't 100% sure if they were gonna do it or not.
I knew that they were, not definitively. I knew that they were because I knew that they couldn't not do that.
Oh no, he was going to come back. I just thought it might be
Like,
the next film, not this
BVS
one.
ended with dirt shaking, which now doesn't make sense because he was dead.
You're right.
But can Superman ever die? Really?
I mean,
No.
And I don't. I think the answer is no.
Not
As
from the
far as I
writer's
can, as far as I can
perspective,
tell,
no.
it's no.
Almost every major character in the Justice League has died and returned to
If you
life.
kill him and bury him, though, the sun doesn't get to him.
Yeah, okay. So like here's the thing is that like you're right. The ending scene of Batman v Superman where you see the coffin kind of shake a little bit is bullshit because what they use to bring him back is the MacGuffin from the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Which just has this is one thing that I find kind of strange is that in the comics the mother boxes are just portals between Apocalypse and other places. So they're
Darkseid?
not really like ancient.
Darkseid or Apocalypse?
No, Darkseid lives on Apocalypse.
Apocalypse
Oh,
is
okay.
the planet home of Darkseid.
Wait,
Yeah.
isn't Apocalypse the name of the Marvel Darkseid?
You know what? Let's not
No.
invoke Marvel because there's a lot of crossovers of names.
What a silly idea
The
to
Marvel
invoke the other
Darkseid
comic
is
books.
Thanos.
Then
Duh.
whose age was it of Apocalypse?
Age of Apocalypse is just an X-Men thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a
So Apocalypse is a villain
In
in
X-Men.
X-Men, but it is a place in the DC, and it's spelt differently.
What a lazy fucking name for a planet. Good God.
Well, that's how you know he's a bad guy. He lives in Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, yeah.
Like if his name, if
Norris-
his name alone, Darkseid, didn't tell you that he was a bad guy.
Well,
now you know that
maybe
he's
you
from
read it
Apocalypse.
wrong and you think it's Dark Seed, and Dark Seed sounds like a dope ass JRPG.
Norris-
So I don't know what to tell you, Mike.
I
Maybe it
think-
could be something else.
I think it's spelled like APO. Like I can't. It's not spelled like the traditional Apocalypse. But it's got a K in there.
Guys, we literally live on Earth. That means dirt.
Wait, what?
Because Norris was saying
cut the podcast. We're done. All right, break it up.
That's it. All right, sorry. Well,
Okay, so where can we get started on this Justice League shit? So, the first hour of the movie, they are just introducing characters,
yeah, it's like getting the team together, but not
Yeah.
fun.
and this is obviously the result of them going straight to the ensemble super team movie and skipping over all the individual.
Like you missed the Flash. Who, like, to be honest, I think I would be interested in a Flash movie because like Flash is kind of interesting of a character.
Flash is a great superhero. People really like the Flash. I think he has potential in the same way that Wonder Woman does to
But he has
capture
a-
people's interest with the right director and the right script.
But
yeah.
in a really weird way that Marvel didn't have to deal with. The Flash already has his own series,
Yes.
which like having a new movie introducing Flash would seems like a waste of
Different
money.
universes.
And they skip over a bunch of stuff with the Flash that I think they take for granted that people already know or already appreciate because they don't really show him getting his powers. They go with the very short explanation that his dad is in prison for murdering his mom, but his dad's
They
innocent.
did say he
Is
got
it-
hit by lightning.
Is
by
it the
lightning.
same?
Yeah, that's right.
I've never seen a cable TV DC show. Is it the same dude?
No.
No, definitely not.
Different universes, not the same thing.
People did complain online for a bit because that guy is quite popular and he's a pretty fun actor, I think.
I having never seen the Flash CW
What his
TV
name is like
series.
Gustin or something. It's like a really funny
That's
name.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's millennial as fuck.
Yeah.
See, what-
I really like the actor who's playing the Flash in the Justice League film.
Yeah,
I quite like
Ezra
that.
Miller
He was a good
does
actor.
a good job.
Ezra Miller, yeah, I
Yeah.
quite like him.
Because you basically have like three characters, which like they're like how they come to meet them are pretty much like, hey, I know a guy. And it just like doesn't explain. I mean, you just like it's another thing you take for granted is that Bruce Wayne just has like limitless connections,
But
so
that
he
that
can-
one that like I know a guy worked once in Marvel, and that was
Yeah.
for Spider-Man because they planned on making a solo movie for him. But like I don't know, I like what's her name? Scarlet Witch? No, not Scarlet.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson.
Black
What's her
Widow.
Black Widow. She was never really introduced, and like, but I feel like her story was simple enough. With the Flash, I got hit by lightning and now I can move quick is a simple enough story that like maybe he didn't need to be introduced. But Aquaman, where we have to introduce an entire fucking like continent that exists.
Yeah, there's a thing there where all of a sudden you're just like, wait a minute, the fuck's an Atlantean? What's going on underwater?
It is very obvious that Aquaman script had gone nowhere when they started filming Justice League. They had no idea what was going to be in that movie because there is barely anything about Aquaman. Anything that you've seen in the trailers is what you will see of Aquaman for the most part.
Yeah, like
with the exception of one scene that kind of introduces Atlantis. No, sorry, Atlantis.
The lost city of Atlanta.
Home of the Braves.
Gucci Mane's there. It's fantastic. No, but like they introduced Mara, who is like Aquaman's girlfriend.
Wait, I thought that was his sister.
Yeah, like they did not do a good enough job
Stop
of
being so
specifying
close-minded,
who
Kelly.
that character was.
Can
I thought they were just friends.
It really bugs me that we are still in this spot with superhero movies where, oh, we got to make it at least like somewhat plausible or somewhat realistic. And that means that everybody pretends these heroes don't have hero names.
Yeah.
Because they never say the Flash in the whole fucking movie.
And they call him the Aquaman.
Yeah, exactly. And how commonly do they say Wonder Woman? The only like name they probably say consistently is Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Well,
But even in Man of Steel, they called him the Superman for a while until finally they're like, fuck it, he's Superman.
But it's just like one of these old things where it's like people are so like
it's kind of a runoff. It's a necessary response to the fact that so much of this DC buildup has been Zack Schneiderian, all grimdark and trying to be real and fucked up and evil. So no one in BVS would look normal calling someone Wonder Woman.
But they're code names, and you're a fucking special ops team, so that's the reason for it.
That's true.
There should have just been a scene where they did a roundabout. It's like, well, we can't call each other by our real names in the special op. What should I call you? You swim.
yeah, I don't
Aquaman.
think the word like cyborg or Flash was mentioned at any point during the.
So there's a quote from Zack Schneider when he was like getting interviewed for, I think it was Man vs. Steel, where he said that he couldn't have Batman and Superman have a normal conversation well in their suits because it looked ridiculous. And then, for instance, in like Dark Knight, there's like the conversation with the Joker and Batman where he's like beating him up, and it's like really a serious scene. There's a scene in Justice League where Wonder Woman and Batman are talking in their suits, and it's probably the best conversation in the entire movie because it's like Batman saying like, you have to be the leader, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm sorry I didn't step up. It was so good.
Like,
I was gonna say that's the Josh Whedon. Josh Whedon definitely directed that scene.
Although is that indicative of like Zack Schneider's attitude into the whole franchise that he's been asked to direct? Like, oh, I think it's ridiculous having superheroes talk to each other. Like, does he think that it's like I just don't understand. Like, what is the angle that he's taking on this whole thing? Like, is he think that he's too cool to make a superhero movie?
He most certainly does.
It's always been a funny thing that I've actually thought of a little bit. It's weird that Zack Schneider keeps doing all of these comic book films because it really seems like he kind of hates comic books.
Yeah.
At least in the way, like in like the comic book idea of it being somewhat colorful and fun with silly costumes.
This isn't necessarily an idea that I've just come up with, but it's something I've read and heard in criticism, which is that the character that Zack Snyder obviously has the most contempt for is Superman, because Zack Snyder doesn't understand why someone who had infinite power would use it for good. He doesn't understand why someone wouldn't just use that power to dominate the world. So that's why he begrudgingly that's why that Man of Steel, like Superman, is so like dorky.
Is that why he's been given unlimited money and made bad movies? Because he doesn't understand why someone would make a good one with a lot of money?
Well, I mean, the original plan, which they were running on, which was ironically the same plan that Marvel had with comics in the 90s, is that we're going to be the more grimdark version of this, is that we're going to differentiate ourselves from the Marvel franchise by making a very dark universe. But
you can do that okay, though, can't you?
But it's just
the thing is, like, call me crazy. Like, I would almost appreciate if they did that, but god damn it, if they actually like hit it. Like, Zack Snyder's not the one to do that because he's I don't know.
He makes you hate these characters.
Like, I don't know what Zack Snyder is good at. Like, I don't think he's a bad director necessarily, but I don't know exactly
he's good at horror. He should do fucking like Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
shit.
Night of the Living Dead ruled.
Yeah.
Like the action scenes in 300 are good. I'd say the action scenes in some of the later stuff is all right.
Did he do Sin City or was that?
He did Watchmen, which was
I don't think so.
gets some good action scenes.
Yeah. Even the action scenes in Justice League, I didn't think were as entertaining as like. I mean, first of all, like I told this, I was bitching to Mike and Steph on the way home on the bus that like because there was 7 trailers for Justice League, I felt like I'd watched the movie
Yeah,
already.
like you said before, like Aquaman, like there was maybe like a shot or two of Aquaman that wasn't in the trailers.
Yeah.
Like
There was the Joss Whedon stuff we didn't see, like him sitting on the golden lasso and then saying how much of a lonely boy he is.
And the color palette is really gray in this fucking film.
and like they found like, okay, yeah, full on spoilers now. Like we're in it now. Like they found a place for the climax to happen that could not have been a more lifeless wasteland. Like if you think about the first Avengers movie.
Take that, Russia.
Like like the first Avengers movie, literally New York City.
Yeah.
And like you have people running around, you have like it's the middle of the day. You have like
The setting is a character in the final scene of that Avengers fight.
And then like Tony has to like potentially sacrifice himself to stop this nuke from hitting the city of like millions of people that we all in the real world like know exists and love and blah blah blah.
Fuck, I love that scene.
Yeah. And then you contrast that to like Justice League, whereas like this small Russian town that has been like essentially terraformed to be a wasteland
For seemingly no reason. It just kind of looked like it got picked out of a hat. It was very much just Last King of Scotland.
Well, you know how like I don't know, it was like a Dragon Ball Z fight where they just like inexplicably fly to a canyon which has like nobody else around. It's like, this is where we can like unleash our whole powers and nobody will get hurt. Like that's
because they didn't have internet there and they couldn't be tracked by the cyborg.
But the problem with having it like take place in a remote Russian town that has been evacuated due to a nuclear disaster is that there's no one there to really witness the heroics.
No.
There's not really any sense of like what's at stake here when you have a
There was that
completely
little
empty
Russian girl,
town.
though.
Well, yeah, there's a weird like Russian family which appears to be the sole like civilians, a group of 5 that are living in this town. And they get a lot of screen time. They have like 3 different
more than
scenes
Aquaman did.
They get a lot of hiding in a.
It was really weird that they got built up so much, almost solely to be people to be saved by a moment.
And it was literally like, Flash, you need to leave the scene of the battle so you can go save these people somewhere else.
And then Superman saves them, saves everyone else better than you did.
I mean, and I get this impression, like especially after Suicide Squad, and watching this movie, that there was a lot of cuts and recuts, because. I don't know if you guys remember or were paying attention, but there is a scene in about like the halfway point in that movie where it's just like a janitor kind of like mopping the floor.
Yeah.
And then he like peels back a curtain. You don't see what he sees. And then just like it never like
what it is.
It's assumed to be a parademon, and you do see that janitor afterwards being interrogated by Steppenwolf.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
why is Steppenwolf interrogating civilians?
Because they know where the mother box might be, because they're humans, and the humans apparently inexplicably.
Why exactly does he know that
he
it might be a
works at the
Star Lab
facility?
thing?
He inexplicably.
Why does he know to fuck with Starlab? Like, there's
he seems to know where some of the mother boxes are and some of them aren't.
He also like varies between like I'm very actively looking for the mother box, and also I'm going to give you
parademons go.
and also like I'm going to give you guys a couple days to form up and like bring back Superman, like. Because they have the box for a while when Cyborg is like, hey, I've got this box, by the way. And then where the fuck is Steppenwolf? And where's his parademons? They're off interrogating.
Also, kind of, it was
dad?
a small thing to be bugged by, but it also did kind of bug me when most of the heroes were, well, I don't know if we're going to find this third box. I don't know where it could be. And no issue, no circumstance. Cyborg actually literally just walks into the scene holding the box, being, just found it. I got it. I got the box.
Oh, yeah.
I got the box. Should probably go now.
And Steppenwolf is a big nothing, too. Like, it's just like, we can't just keep having CG villains for every fucking movie.
Yeah, like what bug something I realized while watching that, and I think that the big difference between Marvel and the DC universe too is like Marvel's villains, like, well, admittedly, I think we talked about this last episode. It is sort of annoying how it's just like, hey, I'm the bad guy version of you, and I mean that is a little tiresome. Like, it's not exactly what you like a 2-dimensional villain, but at least the level of stakes in each of the movies varies, and it sort of like it peaks during the ensemble films. Yeah. Whereas every single DC villain in every movie to date has been like, they need to kill this guy right now, or he will destroy, or he or she will destroy the world.
And think about like all these films. So like Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Justice League. All of them are basically like, oh, we have to assault the fortress that the villain has because he's shooting a giant beam of light into the sky that will eventually destroy the Earth. And think about how awesome it would have been if, like, instead of like the Suicide Squad, who are a bunch of misfit fuckers trying to like take over the world or trying to save the world, if they had just like had like a smaller operation, like they have to take out drug lords or some shit, or like something where the stakes are like
something more mundane. Like I like that. I like the idea of.
I think Suicide Squad is far more interesting as a concept if they're doing some fucking weird off the books Black Ops skullduggery. If they're doing political assassinations in Eastern Europe or murdering drug lords in South America, that seems way more interesting for what Suicide Squad should be than I guess we have to save the planet. So bring your boomerang.
That was the plot of the that was.
Yeah, bring your boomerang and your weird doll.
That was a plot of the animated, like, sort of equivalency that was, like, released a little bit before the
and that was better than the
they had to like break
film.
their thing was we got to break back in. I forget what the ultimate. I think it was to like just rescue some dude. They had to break back into Arkham
break
Asylum.
into Arkham to kill Riddler or something.
It was something. But either way, like that's kind of cool. That's the thing you send the Suicide Squad to do.
Yeah,
like you don't send them to like avert the apocalypse. They're not the guys for that job. Like,
but also like I feel like my big problem with the last couple DC movies is they haven't pulled back enough for the amount of power that they've given us. Like Marvel has pulled back. Like we know that there's gods and we know that there's different planets and we've seen aliens come, but they're still dealing with like, don't let this videotape of Tony Stark's parents getting killed by Billy get out or the whole world is going to go into civil war. Whereas DC's like, okay, well here's, what was the one that was in Batman vs. Superman?
Doomsday.
Here's Doomsday, fight him in a city. Here's Steppenwolf, fight him as city. Here's Zod, fight him as city. It's like, pull back and see fucking Superman fly to Mars and fight Martian there.
I think even like in trying to, there are some scenes where they're trying to build a little bit of rapport between characters. Like there's kind of like a weird like flirty scene between Wonder Woman and Batman where like it seems like there might be like something starting there, but it's so slight. It's such a light touch on what those two characters mean to each other that you wonder if I have to wait like 3 movies to see like Batman and Wonder Woman share a kiss or something.
Yeah, they made it almost seem like that she was just going to start running the Justice League and Batman was going to kill himself,
which is actually the smart plan.
You know what? That would, for a grimdark DC, that idea kind of would have ruled. Because Wonder Woman rules and Batman just quietly kills himself.
Because he's kind of like the last Christian Bale Batman now, where he's like bruised and beaten, and he's like, I think I'm done, guys.
Yeah, Batman should be kissing Wonder Woman's feet and calling her mistress.
Yeah, exactly. But then Superman
comes
afford
in. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Fuck, it was weird. I just, like, they're not interesting enough characters to have character plots. Just have like universe plots.
But there's even like some similarities and things that you can work on between them. Like, for example, how difficult would it have been to put in a scene where the Flash and Batman bond over the fact that one of their parents were murdered or both their parents were murdered, right? Like,
but we already had that in Batman vs. Superman with Martha.
Yeah, and I actually, I have big problems with, I always hate this because Zack Snyder killed Clark Kent's dad, like Pa Kent, which means that Superman has 2 dead dads, which is the most redundant fucking thing in any of these movies.
My dad died. Which one?
That's supposed to be like the point of Superman is that he has kind of like loving parents who adopted him, and that was.
Well, I thought that Jonathan Kent like does die in almost every iteration of Superman.
No,
really? Because like he died in the okay.
I mean, in Batman, in
no,
Man
they go on to adopt Supergirl in most of the stories.
Also,
right?
Smallville doesn't count, Mike.
Well, also in Superman 1, like the Christopher Reeve movie, he dies.
But like in Man of Steel, his dad tells him to just let humans die.
Yeah, I know.
And then he ends up saving them all. Like
Russell Crowe is a bad super dad.
He doesn't even listen to his dead dad.
Wasn't Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Russell Crowe was his super dad.
Jor-El was whatever. Right?
Yeah, super dad. I forget who played Jonathan Kent.
Which, by the way, don't anyone forget that Superman 1, Marlon Brando was Jor-El. And the script was written by Mario Puzo, who wrote The Godfather.
Nice.
And that's just as like incredible. And those are actually good movies.
Make him a goddamn offer they can't refuse, Kyle.
Yeah.
But like, do you think Justice League 2 will see the space station version, or is it just going to be like
the Watchtower?
Or is it just going to be the underwater station?
How much cooler would it have been if they had just look, we're going to save the Justice League, guys.
No shit.
I'm excited.
Let's do this.
First of all,
cracking knuckles.
I know I know that this is what the comics are doing, and I know that we need an African American character. So Cyborg, I think, should be a Teen Titans character. That's still where I think he belongs the most. I want Jon Stewart, who's the Black Green Lantern. I want him on the team.
Sounds good.
I want Hawkgirl on the team, and I want them to recapture some of the magic from the animated series, which was actually really good. So yeah, that's a start. That's my suggestion.
I mean, some of my favorite episodes from the animated series was like everyone's dicking around on the Watchtower, and then Flash is like, "Hey, I got to go back to Central City real quick," and then Batman's like, "But we have adventures to do," and he's like, "No, I got to take care of my city."
Yeah, exactly. They all have their own jurisdictions. They all kind of join together for big things. Batman is a reluctant member of the Justice League, which fits his character so much better. He shouldn't be the one seeking out all these characters because Batman's a loner. It should be them seeking him out and be like, "How can we get Batman to join?"
Mm-hmm. He's a good detective. We should have him on. And plus, he has money. We don't have any of that.
That was my other idea. Was that should have been the incentive for the Flash to join the Justice League.
There was this one really, really good DC movie that I saw. It was an animated one. Where I forget what the plot line. There probably is a comic book plot line to this. It was basically almost all of the Justice League, for whatever reason or another, kind of like turn. Like, sure, what am I gonna say? Like, somebody breaks into Batman's stash and like finds out every single member of the Justice League's weakness.
Yeah,
and then the contingency plan, which he kept referencing in this fucking movie, but it never came up.
And then it basically like everybody in the Justice League except Batman is like becomes completely incapacitated.
Yeah,
and Batman needs to like stop them. And then like at the very end, they're like, why did you have all this thing on us? He's like, I expected you to do the same to me.
Well, he does have a contingency plan against him, and it's bury him with his dead parents or something.
I was going to ask, does he have his own contingency plan in case he has to fight himself because comic books are stupid?
Show a picture of his parents, and he'll be like, no!
Well, I don't know. My favorite contingency plan of Batman is that he has a contingency of, like, he meditated a contingency plan into his skull for in case he gets amnesia and forgets he's Batman. So he'll become Batman again. That's pretty good.
God.
Maybe comics are better when they're stupid.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just not have them be grim and dark.
I think they're so much better when they're stupid.
Yeah.
I don't want this realistic shit,
Listen,
man.
my favorite joke in Justice League, I thought was a writing error, and it's when Martha Kent told Lois Lane that she was thirsty, and I was like, "Are you really?" The writers just made her say that she's thirsty. All right,
Yeah.
I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, hungry. hungry. And I'm like, fuck. It would have been funnier.
Also, yeah, it was
the best line was still the first line where they just shat on podcasts. That is still the best line of the entire
that is
film.
the best line. Yeah, when the little kids are interviewing Superman, they're like, "It's for our podcast."
That hit too hard. That was too close to home.
So it sounds uniformly negative. It sounds like we walked out of that theater thinking, that wasn't great.
Well, I mean,
like, all things considered, I didn't have a terrible time.
No.
yeah, and we
know.
weren't expecting it to be good.
We had very low expectations.
I think our anger comes from the fact that given the source material, this should be so much better.
Absolutely, yeah. But
I should have gotten drunker
But
beforehand.
it's almost like, okay, so we were talking about this, and I think we've definitely touched on this before, where it's like your main directorial and like creation staff doesn't give a shit about the characters. Really, like I think the reason why Justice League, like the animated series, works so well is because like Superman was like the super goody two shoes, like I will never harm another soul, but I have the ability to do so, but I won't. And then you have Batman, like you said, like is a reluctant member. You have Wonder Woman, who's like very naive but very powerful. Sort of like the Flash, who's kind of like the jankster. Green Lantern, who's kind of like the wild card. You never know, like what it's just, you have that good mix of these characters that are true to like themselves, and then I think when you take they just all work so well together, and then I think just kind of turning them all into weird, like edgy, grimdark dudes.
Yeah, like Cyborg was completely serious. Cyborg
was for the three new characters that were introduced to the team, them being Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg. Cyborg, I think, got the most screen time, and he might have the most interesting storyline, I think, maybe requiring the most explanation, I suppose. But he was in some ways, unfortunately, kind of the biggest downer. I don't know.
Yeah.
And somewhat ill-explained. There's a moment, and this is spoilers, but we've already fucked it up, where Superman's back, but he's kind of all logy and not sure whether he should just kill everyone or not, which I have problems with, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden Cyborg's suit is just like, oh, I can't control it, and just starts like trying to shoot Superman, which wasn't ever a problem beforehand, was never a problem afterwards. He seems totally in control of what he can do, except for like one weird moment where all of a sudden the suit took control.
Because I thought that was,
and I don't know if that's a trope for Cyborg in general.
well,
or
I thought
just
that was
something
Blue Beetle's thing where he can't control his power. I don't know. Like, I've never in any other iteration of Cyborg seen like he had a trouble controlling his power.
There's a series where the Earth 2 Cyborg, which is Grid, which is just like a virus, basically a computer virus, is trying to control Cyborg's like nanomachines, and then manages to like divide them so he makes an evil Cyborg. But that could be what they're doing eventually.
But it would have been more, because they'd explained before that he's getting powers that he never had before. It would have been more fun rather than like, oh, I can't control it, blah, 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 conflict. It would have been more fun if he's just like, a giant gun comes out of his hand and he fires at the enemy. He's like, then he just like looks at his hand. He's like, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah,
that was rad.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
That would have been a good booyah moment instead of like the weird like most shoehorned booyah in cinematic history.
And he does like the LA Noir wiggly head because their CGI for Cyborg looked terrible.
You wouldn't even you don't even need to make Cyborg CGI. Like it's just like, I don't understand what the need is here. I mean, I guess you want to see his like body transform into different things, but
I mean, even if you did, Iron Man's almost entirely CGI and he looks fine.
Yeah.
Is it just a budget or a talent thing?
Probably a bit of both. I don't know.
I don't know how much more we want to scrape out this.
I think we've hit rock bottom. I think we picked the scab hard enough.
I got a piece, so you guys conclude this conversation while I do that.
All right. Well, that's good because I got a question for Dave here.
Okay.
So it's relatively assured that one or two side films notwithstanding, the next big thing is going to be the Dark Side Justice League thing.
Yeah.
I'm not super jazzed about that because I don't know if I have that much of a emotional backing to that. And I'd like to know if it was you, if DC knocked on the door right now, pulled you aside and said, David Alexander Beebe, you are now in charge of the storylines we want to put into the DC universe. What would you most want to see, like from the DC comics onto the silver screen?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So of the ones that I know that they're gunning for, they are doing they're gonna do a Dark Side thing. Dark Side is one of my favorite, if not my favorite villain from that universe, and I would like to see a film that begins to incorporate more of the Jack Kirby space stuff, the New Gods, the New Genesis versus Dark Side kind of history. I think that's pretty cool. I came out of that movie really wanting to do more Wonder Woman because I really enjoyed the Amazon fight scene that they had with Steppenwolf. That was probably one of the highlights of the film. I would honestly just love to see another Batman standalone. I would like to see a noir, like detective style Batman film where he is trying to solve a murder or a serial killer, like one of those kind of plots.
Like I know. Until at least he manages to get out of his contract, it's Benny Aff for the remaining future. But I would prefer to see a younger Batman, kind of not origin story because we get it. Parents die, pearls explode, and then he gets all sad and fights monks for a while and becomes Batman. I'd like to see something like young Batman, kind of starting off, like maybe like a year one, or I don't know. I want him to see him fuck up Mr. Freeze or some of the characters that we might have seen in other iterations of Batman.
That's why Batman is such a good character, because his stakes aren't always high. Like he's just trying to like stop the crime dudes of Gotham. Like not everything has to be so grandiose as like needs to prevent the world from imploding.
Well, it's like a really well established thing that Batman's boring, his villains are more interesting than him, and that's the whole point.
But it's also like it's the environment too. Like I want to see a Batman movie with a very populated Gotham City where everybody is familiar with Batman, and also he's familiar with lots of different villains in the city.
Full on Arkham Asylum.
Well, also like true like the Batman, like you said, like Batman's like all Batman's villains are like very like two-dimensional characters. Like maybe not the Joker, but like that's the thing about Joker is he's like so psycho. Like,
which sucks because they fucked the Joker up. Like the Joker exists in that universe now, and it's a fucking hot topic costume.
But like the Batman villains, like if they could, I don't know, like again, like how do you make a Batman villain like that requires the attention of anyone more than Batman. Like, because like superpowers would fuck up any Batman villain. Like, they're not super; they're just dudes. Like,
Well, but like
some-
super, like,
they've got some
like Killer
B2C
Croc
grade.
is kind
yeah,
of
but
like,
I think
yeah.
Superman could
Mr.
like punch Killer Croc's spine in. Like, it's
He captured Killer Croc, I guess, in the Suicide Squad. I think that was the plot. They were all captured by Batman.
I would love to see Under the Red Hood as a motion picture as well.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like describing the story of Jason Todd's death and rebirth. So
I know it doesn't make any sense because the point of this, the arc that I really like, is almost sort of to subvert the tropes that we don't even necessarily have established yet. But
Yeah.
I would like to see like an Operation Flashpoint kind of thing.
they're doing that.
I know, but it seems like they're doing that sort of in a sense where it's going to be like a minor thing tied into the dark side thing. Like I don't know if they're going to do an entire film based entirely on
the Flashpoint
weird,
paradox. Is the thing,
Flashpoint paradox. Thank you. Yeah. Where like
Operation Flashpoint is the video
Operation
game.
Flashpoint,
that
pretty
kind
dope
of like,
game.
Yeah. Predated Arma.
You know what I'd like to see? What's that Teen Titans Starfire or whatever?
Starfire, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see almost like a Doctor Strange kind of style of like
actually,
branch off in
Yeah.
with Starfire.
I would like to see the Teen Titans a movie because I think that would actually fill a nice niche that the X-Men is kind of leaving now. And I would like to see the Teen Titans Judas contract where they face Deathstroke. I think I like the idea of a group of teenagers trying to fight a villain who is fully capable of killing all of them. I think that's pretty. That's pretty badass.
That'd be pretty grimdark if
well,
he did.
grimdark, but like you'd have like teenage horniness to kind of break up some of the action and stuff. But then
that seems like a more interesting setting for the kind of comic book movie I want to see. Yeah.
It's Deathstroke. Oh no, I'm going to turn into a rhino.
and that has so many good character possibilities there because like Beast Boy is awesome, Raven is awesome, Starfire is really cool. Like there's a bunch
I
you
really
can do
like
there.
both the Robins that they have in the
Yeah.
the different iterations of. Like,
I love
the Dick
I love
Grayson
the
and the
angsty
Damian Wayne.
Robin
Yeah.
in Teen Titans. The like, oh, I'm the reluctant leader of this group, and I have to take on all of this responsibility, but I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, like the Teen Titans, like the whole arc did a lot for like just kind of building, like like that entire branch of like I don't know, like it does a lot of character building that is absent from these movies that I would love to see in the movies.
I think generally like kind of what you were saying, Norris. I want to see kind of a younger cast for some of these characters. Yeah,
I want to see some goddamn signs of life in these fucking people.
I know. Yeah,
That would be nice, right?
absolutely.
All right. With the charitably 9 minutes we have left, everyone talk about the video games they've been playing. Go talk now. Go.
All right, let me start. You guys are right. I had a couple more hours of Middle Earth Chattel of War.
Chattel of
War. You know what? I realized that the only thing I was actually looking forward to was seeing like new zany orcs. And after you like the orcs start kind of like repeating themselves, and you're like, oh shit, I've seen this guy before. Then I just pop the disc out and I'm.
You got the full experience. You made the right decision.
Yeah. Like after like I took over the second fortress, then I realized like, oh wait, I still have like 6 more zones I need to take over and like start from scratch at each of these zones. And now there's no, for all intents and purposes, no new novel content because you've seen each version of like the zany character that they come up with.
The one thing I want you to do, and thankfully you can probably do this via YouTube, is not because I think it's good, actually because I think it's the opposite of that. I want you to go and watch all of the cutscenes, especially like the late game cutscenes for Shadow of War, because they get fucking buck wild at a certain point in time. Especially if you have even just a passing knowledge or interest in Middle Earth lore, because they throw it away real fast and they do their own thing. It's not a good thing, but it's kind of fucking wild.
I like the fan, like the self-made stories of that, where it's just like, yo, so I like de-leveled, like I shamed this guy from level 60 down to level 0, and then by the end it's just this troll going bloop 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 bloop. Like because he just like his psyche just is shattered.
It's super fun giving orcs PTSD, so they scream and cry every time they
Jesus.
see you.
It's so stupid, but
It's a fucked up game.
anyways, that's like I don't want to talk about the game anymore. It's it's over.
Kelly, how's Breath of the Wild?
It's pretty good. I have been streaming it, so I'm kind of like unable to play it for extended periods of time because I want to like only play it on stream.
There's no plot for the people watching.
But I'm reading stuff and playing and whatnot. I actually fucked up last stream, so it's like completely destroyed. So I have to I was gonna start from scratch, but I feel like that's too aggressive. So I'll just kind of like explain next time I stream. Yeah, it's been 10,000 years since a big event happened, and there's a bunch of robots now, and I have my iPad lets me connect with the space technology.
If you're worried about the plot of a Zelda game, I think that's very much ancillary to what actually is good about
I do
that.
like the idea that you're not a resurrected Time Lord. You're actually just the one that was put into an echo chamber until such a time that Ganon showed up again. Like, usually you...
I mean, Ganon was always there. It's just, it seemed like some arbitrary period of time went by, and then they wake you up from your cryo chamber.
Yeah, it was... You had to wait for your injuries to fully recover, which takes allegedly 100 years.
What are they called? The Keldo pods or something in Star Wars? Fuck, I can't remember.
Back to tanks?
Back to tanks, that's it. There's two of them. One's like Keldo tank, and then whatever. Anyways.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I kind of like the idea that you're still playing the same Lunk, so... But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I feel like we've talked too much. We've got probably like 8 hours of content of you guys talking about Breath of the Wild.
I am glad that you're enjoying it, though. I will say that.
And we'll have at least another hour of it at the end of the year.
My only problem is those controls are real hard to get used to.
Yeah, you do get used to them. It's not ideal on the dumb, stupid stylus controller.
But the only problem is that game's wicked boring.
You're wicked boring.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's really cute. It's got nice music. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still waiting. I imagine at some point I'll be like, so when's the next stage of my progress gonna happen? And meanwhile, I'm just doing dungeons and stuff. But I don't know. I'm trying to stay active with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna probably be my main stream game until I finish it, which will take quite a bit.
Makes sense.
Where can we watch you stream, Kelly?
You can go to twitch.tv/themindright.
Okay. WRIG
HT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you can also follow me on Twitch or Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I only need 6 more follows on Twitch, and then I can be an affiliate, and I can make money and shit.
Help our kid Kelly out.
Yeah, go follow me, plus.
Your boy Kelly's got to grind that money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just don't want to become, like, obnoxiously narcissistic about it.
It's your boy, the Mind Right.
Start this podcast.
Yeah, don't let fame get to you.
I can't wait till we're making YouTube videos where we're just kind of like... what's up, YouTube? This is Kelly.
Yeah. 5 minutes of intro and then like 10 minutes of content and then another 5-minute extra.
Every
intro.
single video, ask people to like and subscribe.
This episode brought to you by Me Undies. They feel good on my dick.
Well,
damn.
I realized because, like, I don't know, I already announced it on their hidden channel and I'll bring it out later when we actually have content. But I feel like you and I forgot to do the thing where we actually like end episodes. We just kind of played for like 4 hours straight, which for me, I like that content better. But I feel like for successful channels, they do like the, hey, welcome back. And then 15 minutes later, they're like, all right, that's the end of the video.
We'll see.
I kind of don't want to do that.
You're still finding your chops, you know? You're still finding out what kind of niche you want to make in this digital landscape.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it when it's real, Kelly. That's my only
I like it when it's just friends hanging out, playing a video game.
Just straight up handy cam, no filters. The lighting's not even that good. It all looks kind of bad. The shot, like the final shot's kind of not even fully in frame, but you know it's real. Goddamn it, it feels real to you.
I'm just wearing the harness with the GoPro, so like my head looks weird when I turn it and stuff like that.
I think the spray bottle.
Like when they go ask them out, they mean something because they probably weren't ready for that. That's probably all fucked up from that point.
Idiom.
I need to order more Vaseline. Anyways, I'm really enjoying Breath of the Wild, and I refuse to wear a shirt.
So I'm playing Neo. Neo's really, really good still. Although I think I've really encountered what is the Blighttown style level of Neo.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Is it the water level?
It's the level with the gas in the cave.
Oh, that one's not at.
It's
yeah.
okay,
You haven't
but-
gotten to the worst level then.
Yeah,
Cool.
for this
These
probably-
video games you guys play sound cool.
They have different strategies to them.
Wait,
Norris,
did you play Neo, Norris?
No, I don't enjoy pounding fucking nails into my body for fun. I don't play these games all that often.
Like, it seemed, I mean, based on Kelly's description, it sounded like a game that I thought you would like.
Well, let's
But-
listen to Dave's description.
Anyways.
I don't have enough money to pay for doming. All right, I'm sorry. Like,
I don't have that much to say other than that. It's quite a bit fun. It reminds me kind of a cross between like, well, it's Dark Souls, but through the lens of like, I don't know, almost like a what's that weird Three Kingdoms game, Dynasty Warriors? It's almost like that way.
It's actually more like Ninja Gaiden. Yeah.
No, I never played those games though.
Okay.
I actually liked Ninja Gaiden.
It's
Damn,
Ninja
maybe.
Gaiden Souls. You should play Neo.
I was surprised when they started introducing like actual Japanese like people from history, like Hattori Hanzo and like fucking Tokugawa and stuff. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
And demons. Like everyone just is taken for granted that there's demons and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I like the idea that everyone in all of the Japanese people that they're using from history also have like spirits associated with them. It's kind of like
the guardian spirits I like quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
I've been playing Street Fighter 4. Yes, Street Fighter 4.
The collapse is complete. Street Fighter 5 is dead. Long live the king.
It's because Street Fighter 4 is one of the best fighting games ever released. And I found a new main on the weekend with my buddy Vince. We've had a session, and I main Zangief now, so that's my development.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
What I really want to talk to you guys about is a superhero thing that I did really enjoy, which is the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen the Punisher is awesome.
You mean the Netflix show, right?
Yes, the Netflix presents Marvel's The Punisher.
Have you seen the Defenders?
No, I've watched half a season of Daredevil and half a season of Jessica Jones, and that's all I've watched.
Oh, you missed out on Iron Fist.
I'm sure I missed out on so much. Yeah. No, I actually like aggressively kind of hate those Marvel shows. Like
I actually like I have a hard time ever starting them. Because I always feel like, it's too much of a thing, and I don't know if I really want to get into them. But I always end up enjoying them.
I feel like
I've seen every episode of everyone, and I haven't started watching The Punisher, but the trailer looks like really good.
I think it's easily the best one because it's kept my attention for the entire season. John Bernthal is a great great actor.
So good.
I find that they definitely, a lot of them have that problem of like burning out about halfway through. Like I find Daredevil is really notorious for that, like burning out about halfway through the
season.
The first half of season 1's better than the second half, definitely.
I mean, there's definitely a version of the Punisher that they could have gone with, and I feel like they picked the right one.
Oh yeah, because you like in this day and age when you have like a new like record mass shooting every fucking month, like you have to do so much heavy lifting to make the Punisher the good guy in any situation.
You can't just be the target seeking maniac.
No, but they recast him sort of as a tragic hero, which I think was the correct way to go about it, which is that
it always has been a definition of the Punisher, hasn't it?
Well, but see, my introduction to the Punisher was those video games from a while back where like basically...
Bad video games. Why were you playing those video games?
Well, but the main part of those video games was just the Punisher like figuring out elaborate ways to torture people to death.
Duke Nukem type shit.
Yeah. And a lot of the Marvel comics for the Punisher, the fact that his kids or his family is dead, it takes a back seat. In because you never saw Daredevil season 2.
No.
He's amazing in season 2. You could almost not even call it. It's basically the Punisher season 1, and what you watched is the Punisher season 2.
Yeah,
which is great.
Well, I mean, it goes in a good direction where it kind of focuses on this conspiracy, and like, although there are 2 episodes in the middle of the season that deal with domestic terrorism, which I think are very poorly done, honestly. But the rest of it is actually good because they get all the bad guys right, which is the CIA are evil. Military contractors are evil.
Also true.
NYPD is evil.
Also true.
DHS,
ACAB.
Department of Homeland Security is the good guys. Okay, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. You guys gotta let that one go.
Less cool on that one.
I'm just kind of excited because I don't know, after so much Batman and so much Daredevil and so much Iron Fist, I think I watched like one episode. I'm not tired of heroes not killing people, but I'm very excited to see some murder.
Yeah.
I think this is almost like the better version of Batman in some ways, because everyone who meets the Punisher is a combination of being like terrified of him, but also feeling somewhat bad for him too.
I mean, I read a very good thing about the fact that Batman is so narcissistic that he doesn't kill people. Like, he would rather save his own pride or his own code than save hundreds of people that a murderer would kill. Whereas the Punisher's just like, you know what? I'm the villain. I'll kill them. No one else is going to get hurt.
Yeah,
problem solved.
Well, because Batman has to be aware that he's not a good dude. Like, he will beat someone within an inch of their life.
But everyone around Batman thinks he's a good dude or pretends that he's
because of his code.
Because Batman's been the head pajama wearer of a cult pretty much since his inception.
He's got clout. He's got a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also like Punisher doesn't wear a mask, but also nobody that sees him survives. So he kind of keeps that mystique of
and he's completely motivated, at least in this one. Like there are occasions where he's trying to help innocent people, but for the most part, he is completely selfish in his desire for revenge.
Well, he's like, I feel like what Marvel does often, well, I mean, maybe not necessarily Marvel, because like, yeah, a lot of their characters are, but like, it's like if you want to talk about alignment, it's like the definition of chaotic good. Like, I'm going to do good no matter who gets in my way.
The Punisher is almost like lawful neutral. Like it's weird. I don't know. Like, well,
because
or lawful evil, maybe. I don't know.
I think that he's ultimately like a good person. Like,
no, he's not.
I don't think chaotic good's the right answer on that one.
He's not chaotic polite, that's for sure, but he doesn't kill innocent people because he has some sort of, his superpower is the ability to see that someone has done crime and then kill them.
Well, see, I like this version of the Punisher because it's not just like what every Facebook like post from a dad is now when there's a crime report. It's just like, I'm gonna fucking like find this guy and cut off his dick and feed it in his mouth.
It's not just this shitty swath of Facebook warriors who are just a little bit too fat for that Antifa t-shirt they're wearing.
It's literally this that he's being kind of like hunted and plagued by like unseen forces and like can't live a normal life because of it. Like I mean that's pretty cool. I don't know.
I know. I'm excited to see it.
I'll give it a watch because
it's on my list.
I saw that trailer and it just looks like it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
The Metallica trailer.
Oh, here's my preview.
Oh, they killed my family! Oh! Ah!
Stirring.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you been playing anything, Norris?
Yeah, I got maybe a minute and a half because we're running long. I haven't played anything on my own because I don't play video games anymore. I just do math problems on my own time because fuck school.
Nerd.
But in the little bit of time I've had when Kat and I are hanging out, we've gone through most of Life is Strange Before the Storm, the prequel adventure game thing that came out beforehand.
With the scab voice actors.
With the all scab voice actors, which again, not the coolest thing in the world, but considering the preview that came out before the first episode came out was really bad, and the voice actors are all different, which I'm not a big fan of. It's better than it has any right to be, and I actually kind of enjoy it. If anything, it's just made me a larger proponent to everyone who has ever liked an adventure game ever should fucking play Life is Strange. I'm going through it for the third time in my life right now with Kat, so...
It is like the second best version of the Telltale paradigm. The first being Until Dawn. None of the Telltale games being up there.
I think you guys kind of like put it well once that like there's a certain, I think it's like the beginning of the end of episode 2 or 3 where there's a sudden very like big twist that is like one of the best like twists I've seen in one of these kind of like games. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is it? Life is Strange episode 1 or season 1, whatever. Was just like, oh, you're used to the Telltale paradigm. Oh, now we've changed everything and fucked you over.
I've been watching Steph play through Heavy Rain over the past couple weeks, and
also
also
very
a
good
great game.
Also a good game.
Still above Telltale games on the paradigm.
Oh man, like it's like David Cage. Like I think I talked to you guys off cast, but I will just like quickly summarize David Cage in like one sentence. Is like he should not be allowed to portray a character who is not just like white Caucasian, like white Christian male,
white
like,
French man.
He does not know how to like handle any sort of like racial or cultural deviance with any kind of tact. What's up, Cracker? That's a thing he has a black character say.
Well, yeah, David Cage started his career at Charlie Hebdo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. God.
A nuanced touch. Yeah. All right. We're all done. We got nothing else to go. We've been going too long, so I'm just gonna cap it off here. This is Super Hop Fair podcast about way too much superhero shit. We are on iTunes and Stitcher, wherever podcasts are held. We got a Facebook group. Come find us. We got a Twitter at SuperHoppedUp. We have an email, superhoppedup@gmail.com. Do we have a YouTube thing now, Kelly?
Yeah, you're gonna have to start adding that to your big list of
That's
things
why
that
I
we
remember
have.
it right now. Yeah. I'm gonna throw it off to you now, Kelly. What else do we got?
So for the time being, and upon listening to this, I think that the only content we're gonna have on our YouTube channel, which is still Super Hopped Up, is going to be uploads of this podcast, because I found out a lot of people like listening to it on YouTube. But we're going to start doing Let's Plays. I was thinking of doing like reviews and stuff. We'll probably host our streams there that we're going to do in the future. It's going to start blowing up in the next few months and like into the new year. I think we're going to be making a lot more video content, which is going to be very exciting and a little terrifying.
You loved our voices. You'll recoil in horror at the realization of the faces behind them.
Yeah. Emery's actually completely black.
No,
That's okay. There are like 4 parts to that sentence.
we can salvage this. We can salvage this.
Okay, work through it.
No, we're all extremely white people.
There is no yes anding that. I'm sorry.
But yeah, the Super Hopped Up YouTube channel is going to become your one-stop shop for all of our video content.
Not anymore. It won't.
We're sorry. Let's just get that out of the way. All right, we're already sorry. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, if you want to go ahead and tell your friends about our spanning media empire, we'd be very, very appreciative. Hey, all, final thoughts.
So just to reassure everybody, season 1, episode 1 of The Punisher, yes, a character does tell Frank Castle, the only person you're punishing is yourself.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
2 out of 5.
I don't have to wait
That's
for
not,
that.
That's not great.
I don't have to wait.
I don't even. Any other final thoughts?
Yeah. I got some more thoughts. We are. I think if you use the old calendar, I think we're about 4 weeks out from the 4th annual Metal Gear Marathon.
Fuck.
Yeah, man, it was terrifying. So Kelly, our wonderful app designer over here, posted like a screenshot of his app, and it has a continuous countdown. And I saw the amount of days left before it, and I could feel like my heart rate was like accelerating upon looking at that. It is a low number. It is a number which is lower than 30. I think it's like 24 days now.
Well, the good news is I got all my tech shit figured out. I think I've got the mics I need to get rented probably figured out. I need to finalize, and I've gotten a lot of our sponsorship stuff more or less dealt with. So like my end of the bargain's fucking done.
I'm good too, man. I got an email today, and I got the proof of our first official Metal Gear Marathon merchandise. So we're going to have that ready to roll by the time that the marathon is up and ready.
It's a horrifying notion that people are going to own things that are associated with our terrible ideas.
Yeah, but we appreciate every single one of you who listen. So yeah, check us out, MetalGearMarathon.com, for all your informational needs upon this project. Beginning December 16th, that's a Saturday.
Saturday, December 16th.
So you're going to have that day off.
Yes.
Allegedly. Most likely. If you're not, I'm sorry. I've worked with a lot of weekends before, so I know how you feel. But hey, at any point you want to check us out from that point on for the next 151 hours, drop by on Twitch and check us out.
151 hours being the length of this episode, so we're going to cut it off right here. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much, Beer, for being drunk. See you guys all again next week. Peace.